player of the half. If I was giving out a half season award, Craig Gordon would probably get that award, which to me says a lot. And Johansson maybe is not that far behind him, but I think some of the praise Johansson gets is over the top for me. He doesn't do it enough. I'm pretty unhappy with most of it. I didn't see a massive improvement to where we were early in the season. And to me, still, the hammer in Dundee United in the opening weeks was probably still our best performance in the season. I'm really just pissed off that we can't seem to ever have any sort of other plan B. It's always the substitutions are always like for like, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't see the big picture here or anything. I'm completely baffled. And it's not just a reflection on the two results, because I said last week I actually quite enjoyed the Dundee United game, and I thought we played quite well. And as you said, Joe, we played all right at the weekend. We did actually play all right. We just didn't create any clear-cut chances, and we never actually looked like we were going to score, to be honest. And Ross County could have nicked it at the end when they hit the post. That happens, but just that's what happens. Like, no, we're just no. Dare I say it, we miss a Samaras type who can come in and take a few players on and be a bit inventive, be a bit different. Very, very predictable, pretty easy to defend against, and I'm really upset at the minute with how every.
The chance that Party could have gone in is the one that he took from kind of the edge of the box, and Gadetti tried to go all Ibrahimovic on it and sent it wide. And you can see Griffiths was fucking fuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that was the chance. And then again, Gadetti had that chance as well when McGregor hit the bar. It came back to Gadetti's head and he fluffed it. You know what I mean?
I thought it was hard things, I think, to be fair.
It came to him dead quick. He's not got enough time to react. But no, I take some of Harper's points on board, but I think you're going away over the top, to be honest with you. I think going forward, we've not got shooting boots on at the minute, and if we put some of our chances away, most of it would be forgotten about. As for the defence, we need two centre halves, because I can't see Big Virgil being there next year, and Denier, the likelihood is signing him's very little, I would think, and Ambrose a stopgap, so I agree with you there. Lustig's a big miss for me, because Adam Matthews, he's kind of fell off a cliff. I don't know what's happened to him. Azagiri's Azagiri, I like him. You know, he gives you a bit of energy, and I do agree with you what you said with Stokes. Him and Stokes have built up a good partnership, and I think Stokes been one of the success stories of the season. So we haven't gone off. Where I would kind of agree with you with Dyler is, if it isn't working, he doesn't change the system. You know, you're right, it's like for like, and he doesn't put two up front. I mean, it looked as if when it showed you the team sheet on Saturday, it looked as if we're playing with two up front, but then it was apparent after the game started that we weren't. I still think Gadetti's a player. I think he's a great player, but he's just lacking a bit of confidence at the minute, and for whatever reason. One big thing for me on Saturday is we get 15 corners to their one, and we don't do anything with them.
Well, the thing is, just,
you get 15 corners, and we're just useless with them.
There's someone like Shepovic. Should he be thrown in for there? He's tall. You know what I mean? Could be good in the air. I mean, you got 15 corners. A guy like him is probably handier than anybody else.
Well, let's say, there's another player I missed that was playing the weekend, Beaton, right? Now, the guy's he's a decent football player, right? But he's not going to set any heaven on fire. Like, no, he's a kind of guy who'll keep the ball, play nice wee passes, but he'll not actually do anything in a game, to be honest. Like,
he doesn't put the fit in. See if you're looking at, see if it's a midfield battle, he's the wrong guy to have in there. Right. But he's the type of guy in Scottish football, when you're showboating and you're destroying teams, he could run the show. I disagree with you with Johansson. I think Johansson's a great player. I think he's been excellent for us this season.
I really like him. I really like Johansson. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really do like him. I just think some of the praise has been over the top. Like, I just don't know. I'd rather have Joe Ledley.
Nah, see, I prefer Johansson. I was a Ledley.
I'd rather both of them.
Yeah, I was a big Ledley fan, but Johansson to me is more of a battler. You know what I mean?
I'd rather have Joe Ledley before Beaton.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I'm definitely not as downbeat as you. I think the performances of late. I thought the Motherwell game was a brilliant performance. Thoroughly enjoyed the game. I thought the Celtic were excellent. I think it's been a bit harsh saying Dundee United to be back to them was their only decent performance. I think we've had loads of quality. Well, but you're saying it's the best of the season. I don't know. I'd say the Hearts. I know they're down to 10 men, but I thought the Partick Thistle at home game with 20 good chances. The thing about Saturday is we only had like four shots on target, which isn't good enough at home to Ross County, whether they're part of the bus behind them. But you're right, there was no width. We weren't getting behind them. We weren't getting probing balls in. We weren't getting the Stramashes in the box. It was all a bit laboured. And I don't know, just maybe a Christmas hangover or whatever. You know, I'm looking forward to Partick Thistle on New Year's Day, and hopefully we'll turn it around. But I'm still kind of upbeat. But I think we need to see some action in the transfer market, because, as you say, most of these players are going to believe in us.
Yeah, well, you're on the transfers now in a second. We'll let Paul have his say. I mean, Paul, what's your take on? I mean, are you feeling grim, or are you kind of thinking this could be a phase?
Oh no, I'm not feeling grim at all. I mean, I think there's different circumstances to take into account. I think we're playing with two of the recognised back four first picks, aren't they playing? That's a huge miss. I think the full-backs are completely off form, so they're not getting good crosses in, they're not getting good width. I think Ronnie Dyler's philosophy is all based on getting guys wing to destroy people in the wing, so they'll create the space for the Johansson and Brown types to get forward. That's not happening because none of them are playing. I think we're missing Charlie Mulgrew in the middle of the park. I'm not a big fan of his, but guys would not be running through our midfield like they did at Tannadice and like they did a couple of times on Saturday. If Charlie Mulgrew was there, he would just take them down. Beaton doesn't do that. Beaton wants to get the ball and spray it and all that, which is fine, but as both Harper and Jason said, Scottish football, you need to get the fit in, you know, especially the first 20 minutes. You've got to make your mark, win the battle. I think Guidetti's depth, quite understandable. He's a young guy. I think teams have kind of detailed guys to mark him, and that should be doing to the game intelligence, the other players, to kind of look at how we can exploit that if somebody's being man-marked. And generally, I think that this kind of stuff is going to happen. I didn't think it's just necessarily because there's a new manager in there. I just think it's kind of where we are in Scottish football. And kind of, a lot of us have been conditioned by Scottish football in the sense that we used to be in a spell where we had to win every week and other teams were winning every week, and it was just like, you know, you drop a point, it's, you know, suicide. Before that, Scottish football was like that in the 80s and stuff, where, you know, you had games that were crap and you couldn't beat crap teams and stuff like that. I do think that what this team have said, and the show have said it privately as well, that what we miss is the fans. I think if that stadium was full, we'd be driving on some of these younger players a bit more, because I think some of them are going into a shell a wee bit when it comes down to games like this. And sometimes you need guys to stand up. I thought Scott Brown stood up on Saturday, as he always did, but he wasn't really getting much room because I think the midfield's really been sort of settled since we've had with the Ronnie Dyler as a manager. And I also think the one criticism I would make of Ronnie Dyler is that, you know, 20 minutes to go to throw Van Dijk up front, that's just not good enough for me. Like, you know, if Van Dijk's the answer to score a goal, then put him up front every week. You know, that's what we'll do. Until then, let's put him at centre half. We do lack something up front now, and we definitely miss Stokes. I mean, Stokes, I think everybody in this show likes him, but he's somebody that people continually criticise to me. You could see the difference when he went off on Saturday. There was just nothing there. There was nobody creating. There was nobody going wide. Stokes has got that lovely trick that it's almost impossible to defend against, where he takes the ball wide and he cuts inside and he whips the ball in, whether it's a cross or a shot. And it's very hard to defend, and it's also, you know, been very fruitful for him in the past. I mean, you know, I'm not going to dress up. It was pretty dire on Saturday and Dundee United, but to me, it's fine lines. I mean, you look at the Dundee United game, we played really well, reasonably well, and then we're 2-0 down. And then all of a sudden, you get a goal chopped off that should have never have been chopped off, and then you get a goal and you think, Christ, it could be 2-2. And perhaps that's what I'm talking about. The away support will drive us on to do that. I don't think the home support is driving us on to do that. And that we sometimes need to sort of hang me. In terms of the transfer window, I think you're going to see an enormous turnaround. And I'll tell you something right now. It wouldn't surprise me if Commons leaves, Kyle leaves, Van Dijk leaves, Ambrose leaves, all in January. Peter Lawwell's put it in a position with Van Dijk where there are people circling him right now, top clubs in England. But and they can have him if the price is right. They've already lined up a guy for Genk for 4 or 5 million quid as a natural replacement. Ambrose, I think, is merely a stopgap. It's interesting that they've made moves to try and extend Jason Denier's loan deal for another year in Man City. I hope that comes off. You know, I didn't see why no, because I don't think he'll walk into the Man City team yet. And it's just kind of like looks as though here we are, all of a sudden we're getting linked to a boy, a centre half for Genk, we're getting linked to a further move for Denier. Perhaps we're starting to look at shifting out a few centre halves for that. I would certainly be looking at strengthening that area. I'd certainly be looking at strengthening the fullback area as Harper stays. And Jason says, well, Lustig is an enormous miss because Matthews has been absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. I mean, his defending is all over the place. His crossing is shocking. And as a guy in front of me says on Saturday, and to compound everything, he's prancing about there with a pair of pink fucking boots on. Do you know? And it's like they've started a thing at younger levels where you only get to wear boots other than black if you're actually playing well. If that was the case, he'd be wearing them every week because it just isn't happening right now. What Lustig gives you, as well as great runs and all that kind of thing, it's just big game experience and being able to keep things calm. And I'm telling you right now, it's no coincidence to me that Ambrose looks shaky when Matthews is in the team, and he looks less shaky when Lustig's in the team. You know, because there's a guy to help him out straight away. I'm not a massive critic of Ambrose because I think he is prone to the odd aberration and people go nuts and that. But I think generally he's got good pace, he's got good game intelligence, and he can get you out of sticky situations. Some of which you put some in yourself, of course. But I do think now that what we need is we need to freshen this thing up a wee bit. I mean, Ronnie Dyer is talking today about we've got 40 players on the books at Celtic, and he said it's just too much. Which kind of suggests that we'll get through. I mean, and certainly Berget's going to go and all that kind of thing. And it does seem to me that they're looking at the Scottish market now in terms of, are there any young legs out there? They definitely inquired about Shifty, Dundee United and Stuart Armstrong. The problem there, I would suggest, isn't going to be Dundee United. It's whether we can cope with the wages that teams in England will offer these players. Mm-hmm. Because if we offer them wages in January, you can bet your bottom dollar other clubs will. Trust me, there are other clubs waiting in the wings for them. We're certainly looking at the boy John McGinn at St Mirren, and we're certainly looking at Ryan Christie in Inverness. So young legs, that might be hing. But as Jason says, I think the next two games will be crucial. Partick, Kilmarnock. You get 2 games, 2 victories, everything will be fine again. It has been a wee bit of a sticky patch. Defence has been a bit leaky, and I think that's been the key to the whole thing. But you also have to remember, as I said, you're doing that without Lustig and without Denier, and you get them back, I think you'll see a much better Celtic team.
Can I ask you, right, can you ever remember in your life the amount of players that they've brought in, right, all these wingers, where are they? I never know where they are week to week.
Well, Harper, if you remember at the AGM, Ronnie Dyler had a go at the medical staff. Right. And he basically said that, we know we can't go out and buy the best players, but what we can have is the best medical staff, the best nutrition, the best dietitian, all that kind of stuff. And I actually saw your man, Nat Tim Williamson, the day after the AGM, and he had a face like thunder on him, and somebody asked him how he was doing, and he said, I'm living the dream, very sarcastically. So he clearly had his bollocks kicked by Ronnie Dyler at some point. And it does seem to be a bit strange that we just seem to have so many injuries and so many guys who do just disappear. I mean, Jason Denier, he was out for 1 game and we couldn't back. He's missed 7 or 8 games now.
Yeah. I was actually just Googling him there to try and find out how long he's going to book for, and I can't find it. And I know they're talking about extending his loan deal, but there's no news about how serious his injury is or what's happening. I'll tell you, sorry Harper, let me butt in again, but see, he says, I want to know where some of them are. I can tell you Kyle was at the Cairo Christmas party during the Dundee United game in the Celtic Supporters Association. Mm-hmm. So he's well out of the plans.
Right. See, I want to clarify something here, right? I'm completely on board with Ronnie Dyler. That might sound contrary to what I was saying at the start.
Well, you're backtracking now.
No, what I'm saying is I believe in, I want to see the football that he as a salesman, he's selling me a product that I want to see. I want to see that sexy, fast players, everybody fit, good on the ball. I want to see that every week. I'm just not seeing it. I want to see what he's wanted to deliver, but he's either not got the players. The players are either not getting on board with it, or they're not good enough for it. The players he's brought in clearly aren't good enough. They're on board. Aye. And it was that. The ones that he want. The Paul's saying that this wing system is obviously such a big thing for him. The players that he's brought in are not good enough. So I think I agree with Paul. I think there's going to be a big turnover of players in January. I mean, it has to be for me because I don't think this team, this squad we've got at the minute, can deliver the style of football that Ronnie Dyler wants, and I want to see.
Aye, and I tell
I'm
you,
on board with what